Promotion or your dignity? Choose. When her boss whispers this offer, Jasmine freezes. The camera lingers on his hand near her blouse, 1 inch from ruin. Subscribe now. This story won't let you look away. Bell turn on notifications. The choice is coming. The door clicked shut behind her. The blinds were already drawn. Marcus Holloway's office smelled like leather and expensive cologne. Jasmine's fingers tightened around the folder in her hands. The quarterly reports she'd stayed late to finish. You wanted to discuss the promotion, sir? Her voice was steady, professional. Holloway leaned back in his chair, eyes dragging over her. Relax, Jasmine. We're just talking. She didn't relax. His smile widened as he stood, circling the desk. Too close. His hand brushed her waist as he reached past her to adjust the thermostat. You're shivering, he murmured. She wasn't. Then his fingers grazed the edge of her blouse, hovering near her collarbone. You want that promotion, sweet little chocolate? The nickname slithered down her spine. She'd heard it before, whispers in the break room, laughs muffled behind cubicles. But never to her face. Never like this. Her stomach twisted. For one dizzying second, she considered it. The promotion meant $15,000 more a year. Enough to move her mom out of that moldy apartment. Enough to finally breathe. His thumb traced the seam of her sleeve. Well, Jasmine stepped back. No. Holloway's smirk froze. Silence. Then a chuckle, low and condescending. You'll change your mind. She was already at the door when he added. Don't forget who signs your checks, darling. Jasmine's hands didn't stop shaking until she reached her car. The steering wheel felt icy under her palms despite the summer heat. She sat there for 10 minutes, just breathing, before driving home in complete silence. The next morning, the office felt different. Jasmine. Emily from accounting waved her over near the coffee machine. Did you hear? They're announcing the promotion today. Her stomach dropped. Really? I thought the decision wasn't until Friday. Emily shrugged. Mr. Holloway moved up the timeline. Rumor is it's going to be. Ms. Carter. A deep voice interrupted. Jasmine turned to see Robert Graves, Holloway's business partner, standing stiffly in the hallway. My office. Now. Graves' office smelled like antiseptic and old books. He didn't sit. I'll be direct, he said, adjusting his glasses. Marcus informed me about your inappropriate behavior yesterday. Jasmine's mouth went dry. My what? He said you propositioned him for the promotion. That when he refused, you became emotional. Graves slid a document across the desk. A termination notice. That's not what happened. Her voice cracked. Save it. Graves' expression hardened. We have security footage of you entering his office voluntarily. Marcus has been with this company for 20 years. Who do you think they'll believe? Jasmine stared at the paper. The words blurred together. Then she noticed it, the date. This is dated yesterday afternoon. Her fingers trembled as she pointed. Our meeting was at 5:30. This was prepared before I even walked into his office. Graves froze. Jasmine stood abruptly, the chair screeching behind her. I'll be taking this to HR. As she reached for the door, Graves said quietly, think very carefully about your next steps, Miss Carter. Marcus has friends everywhere in this industry. The HR office smelled like vanilla air freshener and lies. Jasmine sat perfectly still as Linda from Human Resources clicked through files on her computer. The termination notice lay between them like a live grenade. I've reviewed Mr. Holloway's statement, Linda said without looking up. And we have 3 witnesses who saw you acting inappropriately last week at the holiday party. Jasmine's nails dug into her palms. She hadn't even attended the holiday party. Before she could speak, the door burst open. Sorry to interrupt. The janitor, Mrs. Wilkins, a black woman in her 60s, wheeled her cleaning cart inside. Just need to empty your trash, Ms. Linda. Linda sighed. Not now, Rosa. Mrs. Wilkins' eyes locked with Jasmine's for half a second too long as she grabbed the wastebasket. Something white peeked from beneath the crumpled papers, a folded note. When Linda turned back to her screen, Jasmine palmed the note. Restroom. 5 minutes. The handicapped stall reeked of bleach. Mrs. Wilkins spoke through the door while pretending to refill soap dispensers. I clean Holloway's office every night. Saw that termination form in his printer yesterday morning. A pause. And I saw you through the blinds when he... Her voice dropped. They always pull the same tricks. Jasmine's breath fogged the metal door. They? Every 2 to 3 years. Pretty young thing gets pushed out. Always black, always female. The soap dispenser gurgled. Last girl took a settlement. Signed papers saying she'd never work in finance again. Jasmine unfolded the note. A name, Tasha Reynolds, and an address. Mrs. Wilkins' cart squeaked toward the exit. Security cameras malfunction a lot around here. But phones remember everything. The door creaked shut. Jasmine stared at her reflection in the metal partition. For the first time since this began, she smiled. Rain slapped against the bus window as Jasmine rode across town. The address led to a rundown apartment complex with flickering hallway lights. She knocked 3 times before the door cracked open, revealing a chain and one bloodshot eye. "You reporters now?" The woman's voice rasped like worn sandpaper. "I'm not." Jasmine shoved the note under the door. "Mrs. Wilkins sent me." The chain rattled. Up close, Tasha Reynolds looked nothing like her LinkedIn photo. The sharp corporate suit replaced by a stained bathrobe, the confident smile erased by a permanent twitch under her left eye. "I know what you want," Tasha said, lighting a cigarette with trembling hands. "And I can't help you." The apartment smelled like takeout and antidepressants. A toddler's crayon drawing hung crookedly on the fridge, Mommy's office featuring a stick figure in a skirt crying at a desk. Jasmine pointed to it. "He did this to you." Tasha exhaled smoke. "I took their money, signed their papers. Now I work night shifts at Kroger." She tapped the NDA framed on her wall like a trophy. "This cost $87,000 and my career. But you saw me through the blinds yesterday. You know what he..." "And what?" Tasha laughed bitterly. "Even if I testified, Graves would say I'm a disgruntled ex-employee. They'd bury you." Jasmine's phone buzzed. A text from Holloway. "Missed you at the 4 p.m. meeting. Let's discuss your future." "My office." 8 a.m. Tasha saw her face. "First they isolate you. Then they gaslight you. Then..." She nodded at the framed NDA. Jasmine stood abruptly. "What if I got it on recording?" For the first time, Tasha's eyes focused. They scanned for devices. But she rummaged through a junk drawer, pulling out a pink USB drive shaped like a lipstick. "Press the base twice. Battery lasts 90 minutes. She dropped it into Jasmine's palm. "Now get out before I change my mind." The lipstick recorder weighed heavy in Jasmine's pocket as she stepped into the elevator. 7:58 a.m. She'd arrived early to avoid witnesses. The doors almost closed when a hand shot through, Holloway's gold Rolex glinting as he stepped inside. "Going my way." His smile didn't reach his eyes. The elevator stank of his cologne. Jasmine pressed against the wall as he leaned casually on the railing, deliberately boxing her in. "You look tired," he murmured. "Trouble sleeping?" Her thumb found the USB drive through her blazer. 2 clicks. A tiny red light blinked once, then went dark. "Recording." "I was reviewing the termination paperwork," she said carefully. "The dates don't." Still hung up on that. He chuckled. The elevator slowed. "Tell you what. Withdraw your HR complaint, and I'll make sure you get a glowing recommendation." "For what job?" "Flipping burgers?" The doors opened on their floor. Holloway blocked her exit. "Or..." His fingers brushed her waist as he reached past her to hit the door close button. "We could discuss alternatives. My condo has excellent acoustics." Jasmine's stomach twisted. She forced herself to meet his gaze. "You're recording this too, aren't you? To frame me again?" Holloway froze. A beat too long. The overhead lights suddenly died. Emergency lighting cast the elevator in eerie red. "Damn building," Holloway muttered, jamming the buttons. Jasmine's blood ran cold. Too convenient. His hand closed around her wrist. Thud. The elevator jerked violently. Holloway stumbled back as the doors screeched open, revealing Mrs. Wilkins with her maintenance cart wedged in the doorway. "Power surge, Mr. Holloway," she announced loudly. "Safety protocol says all personnel must exit immediately." Holloway's grip tightened briefly before he forced a smile. "After you, Miss Carter." Jasmine barely made it to the stairwell before vomiting. Jasmine locked herself in a Starbucks bathroom, frantically stabbing at her laptop keyboard. The lipstick drive's files refused to open properly. Just 47 seconds of garbled audio before the power outage. "Withdraw your HR complaint." Static. Glowing recommendation. Hiss, acoustics. Then nothing. She slammed the laptop shut. The mirror reflected dark circles under her eyes. 3 days without sleep. Her phone buzzed. An unknown number. "He's having security search all bags today. They're looking for devices." "RW." "Mrs. Wilkins." The clock read 8:17 a.m. She had 13 minutes until her mandatory meeting with Graves. Jasmine yanked open her purse. The lipstick drive. Gone. Her breath came in short gasps. She'd had it in the elevator. The memory hit like ice water. Holloway's hand brushing her waist when the lights went out. 10:02 a.m. Conference room B. Graves steepled his fingers. We're implementing new security measures. He slid a document across the table, a personal belongings inspection agreement. Jasmine's laugh came out jagged. You think I'm stealing office supplies? Standard policy, Graves said smoothly. Beside him, Holloway smirked. That's when she noticed it, the faint pink smudge on Holloway's cufflink. Lipstick. Her shade. Her pulse roared. He wanted me to know he took it. 12:47 p.m. Parking garage. Jasmine barely recognized the voice on the phone. Sarah Chun. Tasha sounded sober for the first time. 2019 to 2021. She fought harder than me. A pause. They had her committed. What? Baker Act. After she accused Holloway, 2 doctors showed up at her apartment. Tasha's voice dropped. Her LinkedIn says she's taking sabbatical. Bullshit. Find her sister. Lily Chin works at Miami Memorial. The call ended just as headlights flooded the garage. A black sedan idled nearby, driver unseen. Jasmine's phone buzzed again. Holloway. Pity about your recording. But we should talk. I have your mother's address now. Such a cozy building. The smell of antiseptic burned Jasmine's nose as she followed Nurse Lily Chun down the sterile hallway. 5 minutes, Lily whispered, her scrubs rustling. And don't believe anything in her chart. Room 814's door had 3 locks. Inside, a thin Asian woman sat by the window, staring blankly at the courtyard below. Her wrists were wrapped in soft restraints. Sarah? Jasmine approached slowly. They told you I tried to jump off a roof, didn't they? Sarah's voice was raspy but lucid. She turned, revealing a fading bruise on her temple. I was in my kitchen when they broke in. Jasmine's stomach twisted. She pulled out her phone. No signal. Of course. Sarah leaned closer. Holloway's father sits on this hospital's board. Those doctors who committed me? One was his golf buddy, the other a rent-a-cop with a fake badge. Her restraints rattled as she reached for Jasmine's hand. They'll do the same to you if... The door burst open. Visiting hours ended an hour ago. A hulking orderly blocked the exit. His ID badge flipped backward. Lily shoved past him. Ms. Chun needs her meds, she announced loudly, shoving a syringe into Jasmine's purse. This visitor was just leaving. As Jasmine was marched out, Sarah's whisper followed her. Check the syringe. Parking lot. 8:03 p.m. Jasmine's hands shook as she examined the medicine, a folded microSD card taped to the plunger. The video file showed. Date, November 14th, 2021. Holloway's office. Sarah sobbing as 2 men in white coats dragged her out. Graves handing one an envelope. Then, the kicker, a clear shot of Holloway dialing his phone. Baker Act her. And make sure the sister gets transferred to Alaska. Jasmine's own phone rang. Unknown caller. Jasmine? It's your mom's neighbor. The old woman's voice trembled. Some men came by asking about her work schedule. I thought you should know. Jasmine's fingers hovered over the keyboard at 3:17 a.m. The burner phone with the SD card footage felt radioactive in her lap. One tweet. That's all it would take. She clicked post just as her apartment's power suddenly cut out. Darkness. Then, the distinct snick of a lockpick in her front door. Jasmine dove behind the couch as the door creaked open. Flashlight beams swept the room. Heavy footsteps moved toward her bedroom. Clear, a man muttered. Check the bathroom. Her hands found the fire escape window. The rusty latch screamed as she forced it open. There. She hit the alley running. The SD card dug into her palm like a shard of glass. Miami Herald newsroom, 7:45 a.m. The video had 400K retweets by dawn. Reporter Daniel Reyes played it on his monitor for the 10th time, zooming in on Graves' envelope handoff. This doctor. He tapped the screen. Real name's Carl Riggs. Worked as a bouncer at Holloway's nightclub in 2018. Jasmine's coffee cup trembled. Can you publish before they bury it? Daniel grinned. Too late. The medical board already rated the hospital. Seems Nurse Chun had opinions about her sister's diagnosis. His phone rang. A colleague's text blazed across the screen. Holloway just filed defamation suit. Named you, and Jane does 1 to 5. Jasmine almost laughed. He's scared. The courtroom air conditioning blasted cold enough to raise goosebumps. Jasmine counted the cracks in the ceiling tiles, 11, while Holloway's lawyer droned on about reputational damages. Then the doors banged open. A woman in a nurse's uniform marched down the aisle, trailed by 3 others. Lily Chun dropped a stack of files on the defense table with a thud that echoed through the silent room. "Your Honor," Lily announced, "these are the real medical records for Sarah Chun and 17 other women committed under Dr. Riggs' care." The judge adjusted his glasses. "And you are?" "Someone who's tired of mopping up Holloway's messes." A gasp rippled through the gallery as the bailiff handed up the files. Jasmine spotted the top page, a photo of Sarah's bruised face with the stamp, "No psychiatric history." Holloway's chair screeched as he stood. "This is a—" "Mr. Holloway," the judge interrupted. "You will sit down or be removed." Jasmine's phone buzzed. A text from her mother. "Men just left our building. They knew I wasn't home." Her blood ran cold. "They're tracking her." The black sedan peeled away from the courthouse just as the verdict was announced. Jasmine watched through the rain-streaked window as Holloway's perfect life unraveled in real time. CNN banners flashing, prominent CEO resigns amid scandal, his wife exiting their mansion with suitcases, protesters gathering outside Holloway and Graves with signs that read #ChocolateGirlStrikeBack. She should have felt victorious. Instead, her fingers trembled around her mother's eviction notice, due to disturbances affecting other tenants. The landlord's cowardly cursive said what he really meant. "No one wants the woman who pissed off powerful people living here." Mrs. Wilkins found her crying in the empty office bathroom. "They offered me 20 grand to say I lied about the elevator," the old woman said, dropping a check in the sink. "It dissolved under running water like tissue paper. Bought my granddaughter's asthma meds instead." Jasmine stared at the swirling ink. "Was it worth it?" Mrs. Wilkins turned off the tap. "Ask me in 10 years. Epilogue, 6 months later. The Miami Herald article won a Pulitzer. Graves got 3 years in a white-collar prison. Holloway moved to the Caymans. Jasmine now works night shifts at a women's shelter, helping others draft restraining orders. Some days, when the fear creeps back, she replays the voicemail Sarah Chun left after being released. "They broke us, but we got the receipts." Her mother answers calls from unknown numbers now, just in case it's another Jane Doe.